Okehazama, a name that echoes through the chronicles of Japan's warring states. Most know it as the moment when Oda Nobunaga, against overwhelming odds, struck like lightning and toppled Imagawa Yoshimoto. But the real story is far more complex. To understand this stunning victory, we must step into the world Nobunaga lived in, a world of shifting power, looming threats, and a gamble that would change the course of history. Let us begin with Nobunaga, the central figure. The battle occurred in 1560 when he was in his late 20s. Though we now see him as a future unifier, he was then only a regional daimyo. He had barely begun securing Owari province, in today's western Aichi prefecture. His father, Oda Nobunaga, had expanded the clan's power, but stability faded after his death. Many retainers doubted the young Nobunaga. Stories of his eccentric behavior and being called an Utsukmono are famous, though some historians believe these tales were exaggerated later. What is certain is that Nobunaga rejected conventional thinking. He valued rationality over tradition and acted boldly when needed. These traits were already visible. Still, the Oda clan was not unified, and internal tensions continued to trouble his leadership. Some retainers supported his younger brother, Oda Nobukatsu, leading to a succession dispute. Influential figures like Shibata Katsui backed Nobukatsu, pushing the clan toward division. To secure control, Nobunaga sometimes used force, suppressing rivals and asserting authority. Thus, at the time of Okehazama, Nobunaga had only begun stabilizing his domain. He had not fully secured even all of Owari. It was in this fragile situation that he faced one of the most powerful lords in the Tokai region, making the threat even more severe. Economically, Owari was prosperous. Facing Ayase Bay, it was a center of trade and transport, with major roads crossing it. Merchants gathered in Kyosu, and commerce thrived. This economic strength later supported Nobunaga's military growth and administrative reforms. Geographically, however, Owari was vulnerable. To the east lay the Imagawa clan, and to the north the Saito clan. Nobunaga was surrounded by strong enemies, making his position precarious and forcing him to consider every move with great caution. Among these foes, the Imagawa were dominant. Controlling Suga, Tatami, and Mikawa, they ruled the Takeda region. Their military and political power was immense. If they invaded Owari fully, Nobunaga might not withstand them. The imbalance was overwhelming. Indeed, just before Okehazama, the Imagawa army had seized several Oda fortresses. Each loss worsened Nobunaga's situation. Some retainers advised him to stay inside his castle and wait for the enemy to tire, a common defensive tactic of the period. But Nobunaga chose otherwise. He led his troops out himself. This was not mere bravery, but careful calculation. He knew he could not win by numbers. He had to exploit every advantage: enemy complacency, terrain, and weather. Such thinking defined his later career. Battles are not won by numbers alone. Information, speed, and judgment were central to his strategy. Many later stories, like his Atsumori dance, are debated in accuracy. Sources differ, and details remain uncertain. History requires separating legend from fact. Even so, Nobunaga marched with firm resolve. Defeat meant the end of the Oda clan. Victory meant rising fame. The stakes were immense. His opponent, Imagawa Yoshimoto, was feared as one of the strongest warlords in Takeda. Next, let us examine who Yoshimoto truly was. In the story of Okehazama, the spotlight often falls on Oda Nobunaga, the daring young warlord who seized an impossible victory. Yet to grasp why that moment shook the Sengoku world, we must look to the other giant on the field, Imagawa Yoshimoto, a ruler far more formidable than later tales suggest. From a seat in Suruga, in today's Shizuoka, Yoshimoto commanded a vast domain stretching through Tatami and deep into Mikawa. This placed the vital Takedo Highway under his control, the artery through which Japan's power, wealth, and information flowed. But Yoshimoto's rise was no destiny foretold. As a boy, he had been destined for a monk's life. Only the sudden death of his elder brother pulled him back into the world of warriors, thrusting him into a fierce succession struggle known as the Hanakura disturbance. Yoshimoto won the succession struggle with loyal retainers and secured his leadership. Surviving internal conflict taught him that ruling required more than military strength. He improved governance, organized his vassals, and created the Imagawa Mokuroku, one of the few legal codes of the era. Yoshimoto was also a patron of culture. He embraced poetry, linked verse, and the refined arts of Kyotoism. Though later mocked as overly elegant, he wielded culture as a tool of authority, blending sophistication with proven military command. On the battlefield, his record was undeniable. He secured Tatami, expanded into Mikawa, and forged the powerful Koso-Sun alliance with the Takeda and Hojo. With his borders stabilized, Yoshimoto could finally turn his ambitions westward. Why march into Owari, Nobunaga's land? Perhaps to secure a path toward Mino, Omi, and Kyoto, the symbolic heart of legitimacy. Though no document states his intentions outright, controlling Owari alone would have strengthened his strategic position immensely. History leaves us with both clarity and mystery. Yoshimoto's ultimate goal remains debated, but his confidence is unmistakable. As his army advanced into Owari, the scale of his power became clear to all who witnessed it. Contemporary accounts speak of 20 to 25,000 soldiers, though modern estimates lean lower. Even so, his forces dwarfed Nobunaga's. Among them marched a young Matsudaira Motoyasu, the future Tokugawa Ieyasu. Fortress after fortress, Marun, Washizu, fell in swift succession. Yoshimoto's advance had been flawless, and victory seemed certain. But the Sengoku era often overturned expectations, as terrain, weather, and information could shift battles. At Okehazama, these factors converged, leading to one of Japan's most dramatic reversals. The moment when the destinies of Oda Nobunaga and Imagawa Yoshimoto converged did not arrive by chance. It emerged slowly, shaped by tension, ambition, and the relentless logic of the Sengoku age. The Battle of Okehazama was not a sudden spark. It was the result of long-standing rivalries, where every lord fought not only to survive, but to dominate. In this era, defending one's land was never enough. A daimyo who failed to grow stronger would eventually be swallowed. Expansion was not a desire. It was a necessity, and the Imagawa clan understood this well. Yoshimoto, ruler of Suruga, Tatami, and Mikawa, sought to push his influence westward. The first barrier standing before him was Owari, a land of trade routes, markets, and strategic promise. To control Owari meant wealth. It meant military advantage. Beyond it lay Mino, Omi, and the road to Western Japan. For Yoshimoto, Owari was a prize of immense value. For Nobunaga, however, Owari was the foundation of his fragile power. He had only just unified his fractious house. Losing Owari would mean collapse. Neither side could retreat. Attention must also turn to Mikawa. The Matsudaira clan lived under Imagawa rule, and among them was Matsudaira Motoyasu, later known as Tokugawa Ieyasu. He marched as a vassal of Yoshimoto, tasked with delivering supplies to Odaka Castle. Odaka stood deep within Owari, surrounded by Oda forces. Yet Motoyasu slipped through the encirclement and delivered provisions, securing one of his earliest military achievements. With this, the Imagawa foothold in Owari grew stronger. Yoshimoto then launched a full invasion. His armies crossed into Owari and began seizing forward fortresses, Marun and Washizu, key Oda positions built to contain Odaka fell after fierce fighting. The Imagawa advance seemed unstoppable. Within the Oda camp, some urged retreat to Kiyosa Castle. A defensive stand was a reasonable choice. A smaller force could endure behind walls while the enemy exhausted time and supplies. But Nobunaga chose a different path. He would strike first. Why take such a risk? One reason was the overwhelming difference in numbers. Time favored Yoshimoto. Delay meant defeat. Nobunaga needed a moment, any moment. When the enemy was stretched thin, their formations extended, their vigilance lowered. Information became a weapon. Scouts watched the Imagawa movements. Messengers ran. Locals whispered what they saw. Nobunaga sought the location of Yoshimoto's main camp, its direction, its rhythm. If the army was spread too widely, a small force could pierce its heart. The terrain shaped the coming clash. Okehazama's hills and forests hid small forces while hindering large ones. A swift army could slip through unseen. Then a storm arrived, rain and wind veiling movement and pushing both sides toward a decisive encounter. Thus begins the story of the battle, how Nobunaga marched, where he chose to strike, and how a single decision in the storm-soaked hills of Okehazama changed the course of Japanese history. From this moment, the Battle of Okehazama enters a turning point, one that will reshape the course of Japanese history. A clash of unequal forces, a moment suspended between despair and possibility. By numbers alone, the Oda army stands at a crushing disadvantage. Contemporary estimates speak of 20 to 25,000 Imagawa troops against perhaps 2 to 5,000 under Oda Nobunaga. Yet the truth remains blurred, for Sengoku records rarely agree. Even so, scholars concur on one essential point. The Imagawa host vastly outnumbers its foe. A direct confrontation would offer Nobunaga almost no chance of victory. The path of conventional warfare is closed to him. And so, Nobunaga chooses a different path, an unexpected one, a dangerous one. His strategy is built upon a single, audacious gamble, the surprise attack. He rides out from Kiyosu Castle, driving hard toward the battlefield, his eyes fixed only on what lies ahead. Meanwhile, the Imagawa advance proceeds smoothly across Owari. Defensive lines crumble one after another. Their commander, Imagawa Yoshimoto, pushes forward toward Okehazama, confident in the tide of success that seems to carry his army. Some later tales speak of banquets and celebration within the Imagawa camp. Perhaps embellished, perhaps not. Yet it is plausible that Yoshimoto believed victory already within reach. His soldiers, too, may have sensed the same. Nobunaga, however, watches with a colder eye. Scouts bring word. Yoshimoto's main force rests near Mount Okehazama. With this report, Nobunaga makes a bold and perilous decision. Strike not at the entire army, but at the commander himself. If the general falls, the army collapses. That single truth becomes Nobunaga's guiding star. But reaching the Imagawa headquarters requires slipping past vigilant eyes. And then, fortune intervenes. A violent storm sweeps across the battlefield. The Shinsho Koki records thunder and torrential rain. Visibility vanishes. Sound is swallowed. Horses move unheard. Under this veil of nature, the Oda troops advance through valleys and ridges, drawing ever closer to Yoshimoto's camp. When the Imagawa soldiers finally notice movement, the enemy is already upon them. Confusion erupts. Some believe it a quarrel among their own ranks. But the truth becomes clear in an instant. The Oda army has launched a full assault. Yoshimoto does not flee. He draws his blade and faces the attackers, a great lord of Suruga, Tatami, and Mikawa, seasoned by many battles. Yet the Oda momentum cannot be stopped. Guards fall, enemies close in. Sources differ on who struck the fatal blow. Mori Shinsuke, Hattori Kohida, or another entirely. But one fact stands firm. On May 19, 1560, Imagawa Yoshimoto dies at Okehazama, a mighty daimyo cut down in the chaos of war. The news spreads like wildfire. Leaderless, the Imagawa army fractures. Order dissolves. The overwhelming force that once seemed unstoppable now retreats in confusion. And so, in a single decisive moment, the Battle of Okehazama is won. What followed the Battle of Okehazama would reshape far more than a single campaign. Although the battle itself was decided in just one day, its consequences would echo across the entire Sengoku period. With the death of Imagawa Yoshimoto, the once powerful Imagawa clan rapidly declined. At the same time, Matsudaira Motoyasu, later known as Tokugawa Ieyasu, began his path toward independence. For Oda Nobunaga, victory transformed everything. The young lord once mocked as the Fool of Owari suddenly emerged as one of Japan's most formidable military leaders. In the years that followed, Nobunaga and Ieyasu forged a lasting alliance. Together, they expanded their influence, laying the foundations for a new political order. History would eventually lead from Nobunaga's vision of Tenkafubu, bringing the realm under one rule, to Toyotomi Hideyoshi's unification of Japan, and finally to the Tokugawa shogunate. For that reason, Okehazama should not be remembered simply as a miracle or a fortunate victory. Luck may have opened a door, but victory required someone bold enough to step through it. A sudden downpour certainly played its part, yet the rain alone could never have changed history. Nobunaga recognized the perfect moment, read his opponent's movements, exploited the terrain, and committed himself to a single objective: eliminate the enemy commander, Imagawa Yoshimoto. History is never changed by luck alone. It is shaped by those who recognize opportunity and possess the courage to act without hesitation. Had Nobunaga fallen at Okehazama, the course of Japanese history might have unfolded in an entirely different way. This battle was far more than the rise of one ambitious warlord. It marked one of the greatest turning points in Japanese history, altering the direction of the Sengoku era itself. In many ways, this was where the legend of Oda Nobunaga truly began. In this series, we will continue exploring the untold stories of the Sengoku period and the remarkable figures who transformed Japan's history. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Thank you for watching. The legend had only just begun. Who would rise next and forge the path toward the unification of Japan?